Hello, welcome to Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun on the C64. Now, this is a conversion from an Amiga game. It was quite a big Amiga game when it came out. I remember the graphics were advertised everywhere. All the magazines, everybody was drooling over the graphics. Very cartoon looking graphics. It was really a big selling point, I think, of the game. It's basically it's like the old Epics multi-event games in a cartoon style. Now, also the 64 version. Well, I think people were surprised that there was a version on 64, but actually it's not too bad. It's certainly a lot better than I thought it would be. So I'm just playing on my own here, so one player. Then you can decide which avatar you want, but it doesn't really matter in this case. But I'll take this beast. Now, when this came out, I've never actually played it when it came out. It did come out in disc and cassette, I think, but I've never played it back then. And then it came out. It was a launch title for the Commodore 64 C64 GS console. The console Commodore 64. This was one of the launch games for it. And certainly the cartridge version is the way to play the game. There's no doubt about that. So here we are at the first event, which is diving, and all we have to do is perform each of the correct. The top left indicates which technique, which move they want us to carry out, and we also have to stay aligned with the bucket, which is shown at the bottom left of the screen. So let's get started. So you waggle the joystick left, right. And when it flashes, you oh, there's Freddy trying to blow us off course. Oops. Now that's one of the annoying things in the game, is Freddy turns up and sometimes tries to ruin your performance. Now there is an overall theme of the game, but we'll just obviously didn't do very well there, so the judges aren't going to give us a good rating. The overall story of the game is that the circus is about to be closed down, and Freddy's going to take over. He's going to flatten the circus and sell it to a big business. Unless you can come up with the cash to save the circus, so you've got to give the best performance you can. So at the end of each event, you can see how much your performance has raised in terms of money. Right, so here we are at the next event, which is Juggling. This is quite an easy event, probably one of the more playable ones, to be honest. Some of the events are more playable than others, but this is, well, I think this is one of the best events. You've got to get rid of these bombs quickly. But I think I can't remember. There we go. Yeah, sometimes they throw bombs at you. You've got to throw it away before it explodes. And it's just a case of deciding when to throw things in the air and which hand to pass it to. Nope, I've managed to survive long enough. So if you succeed in the first level of each event, you go to the second level and the third level, and so on, until either you completed all the levels or you have failed in the event. In this event, you're allowed to drop so many items before it's over. Oh, I think a bomb went off there. Yeah, so obviously the graphics and the sound isn't as in the same league as the Amiga version, but the Amiga version did have some very, very hefty multi-loading, which obviously playing the C64 cartridge version is there isn't much in the way of loading times. So it's definitely better from that point of view. The gameplay itself is actually fairly, it's almost identical to the Amiga version. Just the graphics aren't quite as good, but they're better than I think you could hope for really in a 64. They're still fairly cartoon-like. Sometimes a bit of an odd choice of colours, but they're reasonably cartoony. So this is Trapeze, which is fairly self-explanatory. Just jump at the right time. If you take too long, Freddy, he's got a jetpack and he'll fly over and cut your rope. You can see him flying out in the background there. So we managed to complete the first level. Well, I might have mistimed that one. I think you get two lives maybe. That's close. Oh, mistimed that. Hit the flames. Yeah, the music's okay. It's not very good. Not very good versions of the Amiga tunes. I mean, it's okay, but it's certainly passable. But it's not. I wouldn't say it was the best music I ever heard on a 64. Not by a long shot. I can't remember. I think you got to raise $10,000 or something to save the circus, but I'm obviously not going to do that. I think. It's a nice twist on the sports events game where you're playing for something other than just gold, silver, bronze. It's got to throw your knives at the right time to pop the balloons. Freddy's throwing bombs to try and put you off. I'm not very good at this event, as you've probably noticed. Oh, popped a balloon. For some reason I just always find the timing quite difficult in this event. If we take too long, Freddy he sneaks up and disconnects the revolving table and it rolls away. I suspect that's going to happen quite soon. And you've only got a limited number of knives, which I've only got 5 left. Oh man. Oh, yeah, he's disconnected the wheel. I never do it well at that event. So I'm only a quarter of the way to completing with only 2 events left. It's not going to happen. I don't think I've ever actually managed to save the circus, to be honest. So this is the just got to walk across the tightrope here. Keep your balance. So it's just walk forward, but move left, right to keep your balance. If you take too long, Freddy will obviously try and sabotage your attempt. Yeah, Freddy, I think he hurls a disc at you, and you've got to sort of try and sort of bat it away, or bring your pole down to stop it. But then you might lose your balance if you do that, so it's quite got to watch it. He's probably going to turn up now, I think. Yep, there he is. Oh, yep. Oh. Oh, I think I fell. Yeah, some of these colours are a bit weird. Some strange choices. This is actually quite a fun event. I think after the juggling event, this is probably my favourite one. Okay, I think I managed to complete that event, so it wasn't too bad. I think there's 5 events in total, but and to be honest, none of the events, they're not really in the same league as the best of the Epics games series. To be honest, it's not really in that sort of league. It's certainly not as good as Summer Games 2 or you know. But it's still alright. It's I certainly wouldn't recommend this on cassette. I probably wouldn't even recommend playing the disc version, but it's easy to get hold of the cartridge version, so it's definitely worth playing that. Right, this is where you decide where to place your target, depending on how much. Oops. No, don't last very long. What? Oh, I didn't. Blew that event. Anyway, that was the cannonball event. What you do there is you decide how far away you want the target to be, then the cannon starts to pivot down, and you decide what angle you want to launch at. But well, I obviously didn't get to show you that one. Right, well that's Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun. And yeah, it's okay. It's I mean, I couldn't say it was one of the best games I've ever played, but and to be fair, it's probably best experienced on the Amiga. But yeah, it's alright. I'll give it 6 out of 10, I think, which means it's alright. It's good enough, decent game. It's well presented. It's quite a decent version of a conversion from the Amiga. It's just probably as good as it could have been. But it's just the actual gameplay itself is it's nothing special. Well, that's all for this video.